Ladies and gentlebots, welcome to Steamworld Heist. And I guess the best way I can describe this game is a strategy RPG. Or to be more precise, this is what happens if you get two games. Say, for example, Worms and XCOM, and they have a baby. You will get this. I picked this up through the Humble monthly bundle subscription for last month, I think it was. For those who are not a member of it, if you love gaming and you are not a member, then re-evaluate your life. You get some pretty awesome games every month for a fraction of the costs. It all goes to charity, and I have discovered some pretty awesome games so far due to it. So let's have a gander at the options menu. First up, game options themselves. Confirm guard you will want on. Basically you hold down the guard key, the default key being F. This is for people who might accidentally press the F key and waste a turn. I did so many times. I then turn this on and it never happened again. Show damage, you just want to leave it on. There's no real reason to turn that off. Enable skip move, I've never used this in game, to be honest. I will just guard to skip a turn if need be. I guess this is personal preference. The show minimap, again this is something for personal preference. Default map key is R or M, and for me that does the job perfectly. Skip info and intro screens, pretty obvious what it does. Likely want this on once you have seen them once. Direct aiming, I have, well, no idea what this actually does. I think it's for control pad usage. I have disabled and enabled this in game and seen no difference whatsoever on mouse and keyboard. So just leave it off. If you do discover what it does, or what it's supposed to do, please do tell me in the comments below. Video settings are pretty basic, which is quite surprising. Full screen on or off. I will always have this on myself. VSync, I usually have it off by default. However, if you do experience screen tearing, you will want to turn that on, and that should fix it for you. The animated backdrop, if you have a PC running on coal, you may want to turn it off. I see no reason to, as it will hardly make any impact on performance even when it is off. Layer shadows, this will make a difference on performance on older systems. If you are having performance issues, kill this setting. It should help you a ton. Now, sound settings. Again, this is pretty basic. You have a music slider and a sound slider. Just adjust these accordingly. Subtitles are pretty self-explanatory by now, I would imagine. I prefer to have mine turned on. For the language settings, there's quite a few different languages to pick from. I have no idea what the bottom one is. Russian would be my best educated guess. I don't really know. And lastly, we have controls. Feel free to keybind as you like here. There's not too many things you'll want to change, if anything at all, though. It's pretty basic, but it does the job wonderfully. Interestingly, when you boot up this game, it recommends you play with a control pad. I, however, see absolutely no reason to make such a statement. I have used a mouse and keyboard and it feels very natural. It's smooth and fluid, and I've had no hiccups whatsoever with it. Okay, so to the gameplay itself. As you can see, it's a side-on view. Generally, you will be sending your crew out into another space freighter to loot and plunder it. Each crew member will have a movement and then a shooting phase, depending on a couple of factors. If you sprint, which is indicated by the blue lines you move to instead of just basic movement, which is the orange tiles, then you will not be able to shoot. If you move to an orange tile, you can then shoot. Generally, a turn for a crewmate ends when you either shoot or you guard. By this I mean you cannot shoot and then run away. No, because that would be cowardly. Near the start of the game, you'll have two crew members. You will encounter other ones as you play through, which you can recruit. There are a lot of different crewmates you can recruit. Some of them have requirements, like reputation for example, whereas others will join you if you give them water. Water is the main currency of this game, which makes sense as you're playing a crew of Steam bots. You know, steam, water, kinda goes hand in hand. The more water you collect, the more you can spend in the numerous shops spread throughout the galaxy. Now, for XCOM players, this game will feel like second nature, except it's been simplified to make it more approachable. However, unlike some of the very questionable shots in XCOM, in this game you will aim your weapon and fire accordingly. If you miss, it's because you simply cannot aim. It's not due to some silly random number generator failing on you 4 times in a row when you're supposed to have a 95% hit rate. XCOM players will know exactly what I mean by this. Some gun types even have shots that can bounce off walls, so you can perform some really fun shots, and later in the game it is kind of required. The first major boss in the game is a shining example of that. Unlike XCOM, where you feel attachment to that soldier that dies and then you sometimes, well, like me, rage quit, in Steamworld Heist it doesn't matter if they die. They are robots after all. They die, they get no EXP for the mission, they will be still there as you progress through the game, which works well for people like me who sometimes get too emotionally attached to well developed characters in games dying. As a bot gains EXP, they will unlock more skills, like more health or skills doing more damage, or even lowering a cooldown on skills. I personally have no idea if there is a level cap. My highest bot is, I think, level 6. I have seen a Steam achievement for level 10, so I'm guessing that would be the level cap. The story is pretty basic, it's not drawn out too much, and if you want to skip the story elements you can by just pressing a key rapidly. I haven't followed the story much at all, and it's taken nothing from the game away from me. I still have way too much addictive fun while playing this. Now, to something that does overly irritate me, it might just be me, I don't really know, but the bots talking drives me completely nuts. The sound is just terrible. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. I am all too happy to skip the conversation between the bots in this game, just to avoid the irritating sound that they make. Now, to something a bit off trail about this game, that would be hats. Yep, hats. So many hats. As you progress through the game, you will find hat shops. You will acquire new hats as you get new crewmates, or the more challenging and I guess fun way of getting these hats is to just shoot them off the head of your enemies. This is a lot more fun than it sounds. More so if you find a hat which is really odd looking, you seem to acquire this overwhelming sense of priority to pop that hat off the baddie's head to go and loot it for yourself. So let's get down to the verdict here for Steamworld Heist. It plays beautifully, it looks fantastic, and apart from the robots sounding bloody terrible at times, the sound in game is brilliant. It all gels together amazingly well and makes for a terrific experience. I would have never bothered to look at this game under normal circumstances, but thanks to Humble Bundle, I have indeed found a gem here. This game is addictive and very fun to play. Even on the higher difficulty settings, it's still tons of fun. A bit stressful at times, but it's still tons of fun either way. The developer, Image and Form, did an amazing job with this concept. So much so, I really do want to check out Steamworld Dig, which is another game they churned out a few years ago. It's not linked to Heist in any way, and I don't mind that. This indie dev for me hit the nail on the head with Steamworld Heist. You can nab this on Steam right now for $10.99. If you love tactical games, it's worth every single penny. There is a DLC purchasable for this game too, one I have not really looked into too much yet, for $3.99, which gives you a new crew member, new missions to journey out on, and looking at it from afar, I will likely grab that one at some point down the road. I think this is one of the few games where I'll turn around and say, right now, it is definitely worth the price, including the DLC price. I think this game is beautifully made. This game is worth your time. There is no doubt about it. Just go on, give it a go. You know you want to. And I guess that's me done here for Steamworld Heist. I will likely keep playing this one. It's definitely a very fun game. Like, share and subscribe. Give us a comment to have a gander at. It's all very welcome. I've been Wolf. This has been Steamworld Heist. And I'll see you again next time.